July 19th, 2019.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 111. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
This being episode 111. This, as everybody knows, and we've been planning this for a long time since the beginning of the show. This will actually be our Vault 111 special.
No, has this been a planned thing? No.
No. Is that the Vault from Fallout 4? Is it 111?
You're acting like I played that dog shit game.
Oh, whoa. I don't know about dog shit.
Sorry. A lesser game.
It is a lesser game. I'm pretty sure it was Vault.
Yeah, I think it is Vault 111.
I know Vault 101 is Fallout 3.
It is Vault. It's Vault 111. I'm remembering.
So this is our Fallout 4 tribute podcast.
Then I'm out. No, there's nothing to tribute. No.
Did you really never play it?
I played probably like fucking 8 hours of it, and it never grabbed me.
Okay, that's not a insignificant amount of time.
No, it's like it never grabbed me. I gave it a chance. It's the same thing with like Days Gone. If I'm playing you for like fucking almost 10 hours and I can't get into you, fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I dug it. I mean, like Fallout 4 has got big problems, no question about it. And I think Fallout 4 for me was like that was when the rose-colored glasses are off now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4 was definitely the chink in the armor there, but I still liked it overall. Still played a lot of it. Still played like an ungodly amount of that game. It's a Bethesda game after all. Todd, there's a lot going on this week in terms of video game news. This has actually been a fairly heavy week in terms of video game news. A shockingly heavy week. And we will certainly tackle all that. We're going to cover such topics as Nintendo.
What?
You might be shocked to hear that, Todd. But Nintendo has dropped some news upon us this week, casually, as if it were a Nintendo Direct, and it isn't. We're going to talk about your favorite retailer later on in the show.
Are you talking about shit stop?
We're going to talk about Borderlands 3 later in the show. We are going to talk about Super Monkey Ball later in the show.
Super Monkey Ball?
That's
fuck's
right,
going
Tom.
on? Okay, I'm intrigued because honestly, you pay more attention to this than I do.
But before we do all of that, we will begin the show as we do every week, ritualistically. I lay the altar before you. And I present you like a fattened calf to our Savior.
No, before we do that, I need to tell a story.
Ooh. Embellish me.
For everyone that has ever judged me for wearing a hoodie all the time when I'm out, this is for anybody like me, for always being prepared for some bullshit. So,
how often do you think you get judged for wearing a hoodie?
A lot more than you realize.
So hang on, are you wearing hoodies even now in like the 90-degree heat?
Yes.
Whoo, mama. Yeah, you deserve to be judged.
Hat too.
Continue.
But now, we got home. It was my mother. We got home from Walmart. We were doing a little bit of grocery shopping, and as I was picking up some new shoes and shit because like my shoes are all fucked up.
So new work shoes?
Oh, yeah. Basically, I ended up buying the same pair. Like,
Okay.
I dig them. The main reason I like these is because I know for a fact that I have those Dr. Scholl's inserts.
Uh-huh.
I know that they don't get fucked. Because I'm telling you, that's a big problem. Is the moment I put those insoles in, some shoes become unwearable.
Yeah.
So they get everything a little too tight. So these I know work perfectly. So I had to get new insoles as well. I actually retested my feet on that stupid machine they have.
Oh, one of those old school machines?
Like where you gotta you're sitting there figuring out what your problem is and shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but as I was at Target, I found these shirts. And I fell in love with them. They're very soft, kind of like these sleeveless workout shirts. I'm wearing one right now. I bought
sleeveless, huh?
Yeah, I enjoy them.
Okay.
And I only bought one because they only had one in my size. And that was at the Target that was in like a little further away. So we got that Target right by my house.
Right.
And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go over to Target real quick." And she said, "Oh, let's take a walk." She's like, "I need to get some steps." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds fine."
You ever call it Target?
Jokingly, yes.
You ever make that typical white person
Of
joke?
course, always. I'm white as hell. Now, so you know how close the Target is to my house.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you about this, man. So we got up to the first like bigger street, Damon.
Don't give your location away.
I ain't gonna find it. They don't know where I live.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But as we get there, it starts to pour.
Ooh.
Starts to pour.
The heavens opened on you, eh?
Oh, the sheets. It was sheets, bro. And that was still like a couple days. At this point, we're a couple blocks away. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like it was so bad. By the time we got to Target, like soaked, bro, absolutely soaked.
It's like soaked to the bone.
But again, I'm sitting there, my hoodie protected, majority of my. And she's like, my mom's like, "Oh, you have a jacket on. I don't have anything." And I'm like, "Whose fault is that? For you people not being prepared."
Well, I'm glad you get like one day of vindication for the years of suffering.
Hey, always be prepared. Always.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I don't know,
I
man.
would welcome a rain in this heat.
The thing is, I've always been like that. I've always been like that. Even when I was younger, I'd be sitting there in like 100, like near 100 like degrees, and I'd still be wearing a hoodie.
Oof.
It's where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in a hoodie.
That's fair. More power to you.
Even if I'm sweating my nuts off, I don't care.
Until we find you passed out on the concrete, fucking grafted to the side of the street, smiling warmly with your hoodie.
It hasn't happened yet.
No heat strokes yet.
I've probably come close a couple times.
You bring your happy ass down here and see if that hoodie stays on.
Oh shit! I'll tell you right now. I already know it came off multiple times.
Shit.
It was on my shoulder.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even the peak of Louisiana heat right there.
Fuck Louisiana heat.
That's some fucked up shit. Well, I'm glad that you get that. I'm glad that you get that slight win. It's the small victories.
It's yes.
And I'm glad you found a new shirt. Isn't that a nice feeling whenever you get a new shirt?
Oh, dude. I bought like 2 more. I'm probably gonna buy more. I want to get them in black, and I'm gonna probably end up starting to wear them under my uniform. Actually,
Walmart's got these. Every now and then I'll just see like just a random plain shirt from Walmart, but the material is very soft.
Well, yeah,
and they're like cheap.
The material on these, it's like those like kind of like those like workout shirts. So they're very soft and like comfortable. Like, dude, I love them. Like I was I can throw every shirt away that I own, and only wear these.
Just wear that.
I swear to God.
That's sort of how I am. Where again, Walmart will carry every now and then. You'll see just these normal ass blank, no design, no nothing, colored shirts or whatever, and just very comfortable material. The shirt costs like $4 or $5. Mm-hmm. And I'll sit there. I'll just buy a shit ton of them.
I think these were like $10.99 a piece, which isn't too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not you're not getting into that Macklemore status. That's $50 for a t-shirt.
Huh.
Anyway, Todd, the ritual is prepared. The altar is lined with candles, and your blood has been dripping into it now for several minutes. But the question still remains, what, pray tell, have you been playing this week?
Lots of Battle Royale.
You have been playing a lot of Realm Royale.
A little bit of Apex, a little bit as well. But more Realm Royale, as it's kind of become my favorite of the Battle Royale genre.
You've gotten your first win recently.
I'm going to be honest. Let me tell you this right now. I usually finish in top 5 at this point.
But that was basically your first time that you've ever won.
Yeah, this was, if I go back to it, this would be my actual first solo queue win.
Right.
Ever. I've come close in other games, but this was my legitimate first ever like solo queue win. And again, I see why Battle Royale is so popular. You know?
Yeah. There is a testosterone adrenaline feeling to it.
Oh, dude, my heart was pounding. My heart was like, dude, like I'm gonna be honest, like when I hit the top 5 in that game, I knew that it was time. It was my time. And like it's just the game is just so fucking fun, man. Like I've been in such a weird funk with like my video games lately, and Realm Royale's been really good for me. Just kind of like it helps my depression. Also helps that it's colorful. Gives me
Yes. The pretty colors.
the pretty colors make me happy. I go,
It makes me happy.
oh Lord. I mean, obviously, I've still been doing like vault runs and shit, and just trying to find a game to grab me. And the thing is, I know, like, I have Xenoblade on like fucking Switch, but I know it's not gonna grab me at this where my headspace is right now. I know myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been in that like the zone that I'm in is like multiplayer games are kind of like that kind of just who gives a shit, jump in and play a little bit are like perfect for me right now.
That's fair.
Like to the point where I've even debated on like re-downloading like Rainbow Six Siege and fucking with it.
Oh yeah. Nah.
But I know that's another thing. I know that it's going too far because that community is. Don't hate me for saying this, but you're all toxic as shit, and I hate all of you.
I just never get into like whenever I get into the primordial soup state that you're in right now, like my brain does not, and I wonder if this is sort of a study on sort of your gaming roots.
Hey,
Because maybe it's because your roots are in like Call of Duty and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, when I was like shooters were my bread and butter, like when I was like in like middle school and shit like that.
So maybe now that you've sort of found yourself devolved into your primordial soup,
That's
have found
that's
that
an interesting point, actually.
your comfort zone is going back to your shooters, your multiplayer, your competitive multiplayer. Because my version of that is like, I mean, you remember well when I'm gonna jump back into Breath of the Wild. You know, that's my version of that is I'm gonna play a big, meaty, long single player game, or I'm gonna play like a Zelda game. Like that's my safe space when I enter my primordial soup.
That's an interesting take, and I feel like that is some real shit.
There's probably something to be said about that.
Yeah.
When you're in that weird state, you just go back to your comfort.
Because even then, like, I do find myself going back to, like, obviously, I always tend to go back to, like, the looter shooter Borderlands type of shit.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I've gone further now. Further down the road. Deeper than I ever expected.
You know, we probably, I guess I should say that I played a little bit of Realm Royale with you, and I liked it. It's good. I'd say this. There are things that game does. It is a high-res game through and through, where the thing that high-res does so well, it's like if I'm going to play a game of this type, I'm going to play their version. They have taken the Battle Royale genre and made it more enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm.
With just really smart design decisions. I really like the chicken mechanic.
Speaking of the chicken mechanic, in that game where I got the Crown Royale, as it's called, I chickened 3 times.
Yeah.
Like dead ass. I chickened 3 times. No, twice. I chickened twice. Chickened twice, revived both times, and killed the person who chickened me. And I was like, that's what I love. Even if you get downed, you have a chance if you can like get away and like revive.
And that's a really good feeling. And it's just, and it kind of lends itself to the sort of like quirky nature of the game, of like turning into a chicken, and then you have like 20 seconds to basically try to run away and survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can, you're revived, and you can kill your killer, and that's really nice. And when you manage to pull that off, it feels really good. And 20 seconds is just long enough to where to where you
Like,
feel like the other people have plenty of time to kill you if they want.
exactly. I like if you let somebody like revive off you in chicken form, it was your own fault. Like,
Right.
honestly.
Right. There's no reason why somebody should be able to bait you enough to where they can effectively chicken you.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that mechanic. I really like the forge mechanic a lot.
Forging is great. Like that is honestly, it's like I've gotten to the point now again where I was like I said a little bit ago is where always get like top 5 because I kind of have a new like I have the system how I do it. Like I may not use like the initial forge I stop at, but I use that first area to get the shards. Then I move closer in. Then I forge like I always get the weapon going, the armor, the health potions, and then if I have enough, I'll get into like a rune or like a. I usually don't get an ability, but the abilities are useful if you can get it. I actually this game that I got actually almost won again. I actually got that was the I did second place. It's called Last Chicken. Got second place. I was fully decked out in legendary gear.
Yeah.
Fully decked out. It was nice.
Well, I think the whole shard system is really brilliant. The ability to sort of junk the stuff that you leave behind that you aren't going to use. I think that's really smart.
Dude, there was some good shit that I didn't need. I sharded the fuck out of it so nobody else could get it.
Yeah, that's just a really smart system. And it just checks a lot of boxes, solves a lot of problems that Battle Royale games don't even think to solve. Because I think a lot of, like, obviously starting with PUBG and stuff, I think a lot of games think that it's enough to just drop you into the world and just say go. Mm-hmm. And in some cases it is, but Realm Royale thinks a little bit more about it and solves a lot of these issues. And I think creates a more fun game as a result. And again, that's high res through and through. It's almost as if they're not simply making an Overwatch clone. They're not simply making a Fortnite clone. Like, they're sitting there and playing something like Overwatch and Fortnite, and they're saying, you know what, this could be better.
Yeah.
And then they make it better.
And that's the thing. These games, like the high res games, may not be as polished,
Right.
But they're fucking fun.
It's not.
That's all I ask for.
It's not as polished. There's definitely a little bit of jank, but it's a lot of fun. And you know what? It runs actually really well on Switch. It was actually shockingly well optimized for Switch. So I was pretty happy with it. I mean, again, it's like I said, Battle Royales are just not my cup of tea. It may be the sort of thing that I jump into every so often. If I'm going to jump into a Battle Royale, it's going to be this one.
Mm-hmm. That's why actually I'm keeping it on Switch. But I'm mainly still playing on PS4.
Yeah. If I'm going to jump into one, it's going to be, Realm Royale.
Yeah.
That's definitely the one that I feel the most connection to. And it's just like, it's like we keep talking about Paladins. I'm more likely to jump on Paladins than Overwatch.
Did I say that I actually jumped on Overwatch?
Did you?
I did.
How's that?
Didn't even finish a game before I got annoyed.
That's how it goes, man.
Dude, I'm like, I can't play that game by myself. That's the thing. That's the thing I respect about Paladins, is I can solo queue that and feel alright.
Right.
But fuck Overwatch, dude.
Anything else you've been playing this week, Todd?
GTA.
Really? Oh, God. You really are in some Primordial Soup, aren't you?
A buddy from work plays it. And I think, I already owned it. As I own it on all I own all versions of the damn game.
Well, of course. You are a partial shareholder of Rockstar.
Yes, yeah. And I gotta say, I'm impressed with the sheer amount of shit that they've added since I stopped playing that game.
Oh, Lord.
Like, it is honestly impressive. The amount of stupid shit. And I'll say this, luckily, I had a shit ton of money because, like, the last time I played this game, I probably spent, like, some money on a fucking shark card.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So here's the deal. I had enough money in game to buy this new vehicle. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's called the Oppressor Mark II. So there is an Oppressor Mark One. The Oppressor Mark One is a dead acid motorcycle that flies.
Okay.
This just cuts the bullshit. This is like a fucking like you're on top of a jet engine and just fucking flying around. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And it makes me happy.
I mean, part of me is surprised that they put stuff of that caliber in GTA.
Bro, they have a fucking jetpack. I've seen it.
Well, and I was just gonna say, and the other part of me is like, well, but as popular as GTA Online is, I mean, you got to keep people in.
Well, that's the thing. They've gotten really balls to the wall with like the whole like you make like a fucking biker gang and like an online now. There's like so much. Honestly, making money in the game is like way easier from what I've seen.
It would just be so funny to take like comments from people who are always negative about Saints Row and like, oh, GTA is so much more serious, and then cut to fucking jetpacks and
Dude,
like,
just legit. I'll record myself with the oppressor just flying around like a fucking asshole on it.
right.
And it's just I ended up pissing off my buddy from work. Is I wanted to see how hard it would be to run him over with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult, but it's doable.
Possible.
Dude. Actually, one of his other friend that we were playing with, he's like, "Did you just kill him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Because it's like I basically like fucking like I kind of swooped down and just like hit the top of his head and just fucking domed him.
God bless.
And then it turned into a whole thing of him trying to kill me, and it's just like good fucking luck. Like I'm sitting there like flying around, he can't hit me worth shit.
I gotta be honest. I did not expect the GTA to come out of your mouth.
I know.
Whew.
Never expect the GTA 5 Inquisition.
Right. Like that shit could rear its ugly head at any minute.
Yeah.
The amount of time and money you've spent on that game.
It's a dangerous thing for me to jump back into it.
Oh Lord.
It might start my problem.
It won't be long until the craving sets in.
I go back to it. Sweet.
Like a snake on its belly, crawling back for some sweet, sweet candy.
Bro, it is dangerous. Like, dude, like, because they got a lot of shit in that game. And I don't have the time, but I do have the money.
Oh, God. You're better off literally putting it in the toilet.
I know. That's why.
That would be a better use for your money. Oh.
That is my point. That is my opinion on microtransactions. It's like, for shit like that, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, for people that don't want to put, like, the actual time in, and you put your time in with your actual job, and you got some, like, loose money, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, it's your money. You worked hard for it. I mean, it's not the kind of thing I'm not going to do it. But, hey, it's your money. Do whatever you want.
Oh, no, I haven't given in yet.
Do what you will. Waste your money if you wish.
Bitch, I haven't given in yet.
No, you paid your time in the past.
We don't talk about the dark times.
What else, Todd? What else?
I think that's about it, honestly.
I have not got much to say. I haven't been playing all that much this week, other than, I was telling you about this in private, but I'm to this place with Xenoblade where I think I'm pretty much just going to rush to the end at this point, because it's annoying me. There's a mechanic in this game called field skills that has just gotten outrageous. Now that I'm like 50 hours into the game, the field skills have just gotten out of control, and it's become very annoying. Essentially what it is there are certain skills that you need to perform like kind of special actions in the world that require you to have certain blades and certain blades abilities unlocked. It's just really dumb. You have to switch out the blades that you need for the particular situation. You have to level them up in certain ways, and sometimes the leveling up is a whole fucking journey in itself, and it got to the point where I was playing it yesterday, and literally every side quest I had required some sort of field skill that I was not able to do. And I was just like, nope. And I just like saved it and turned it off. So it's just to the point now where I think I'm pretty much just going to sprint to the finish and just like see the story through and turn it off. And it's funny because it's not even a me thing. Like, field skills are kind of unilaterally hated in the community. And there are a lot of people that you'll see on like Reddit that are like, dude, like if the next Xenoblade has field skills like this, I think I'm kind of over it.
Damn, really?
And like, I'm kind of in the same boat, honestly, because I don't hate the idea. I know why field skills are in the game. They want you to switch out your blades. They don't want you to use the same couple of blades constantly. They want you to have kind of a repertoire. It's almost like Pokemon. It's almost like every now and then in Pokemon you'll see a tree that needs to be cut. Well, you need to have a Pokemon that knows the ability cut, right? It's sort of like that on a much grander and more annoying scale. So I understand why the system is in the game, but it should be way simpler than it is. And if you have like secret areas where you need to have like a lot of field skills or something like that, that's fine. But literally, I can't do any of the current side quests that I have until I grind and have all the skills that I need to perform these field skills actions. It's really annoying. So anyway, maybe that's for some people. It's not for me. So I love everything else about the game. I'm really enjoying the story, the world. Again, the music remains phenomenal, and it's to the point where I think I'm just like, let me just see the end of this and call it. I've gotten plenty of time out of it. Other than that, a little more Mario Maker. I've got an idea for my next level that I'm going to start fleshing out pretty soon. I've definitely slowed down with it. Now that I've made and published like 3 levels, I've definitely slowed down, but I'm still getting some levels in the old brain, and I'm going to start fleshing some of them out pretty soon. I played all of the... It's funny. So I got sent by fully 4 different people. The apparently Arby's has made a Mario Maker level.
I saw that Uncle Aaron sent it to you.
Yeah, so Uncle Aaron sent it to me. My friend Josh, listener of the show, shout out to Josh. He sent it to me, and a couple other people sent it to me too. And I'm just like, yeah, this is cool. Like, I'll play it at some point. I played Wendy's made like 6 levels also that I played, and they were fine. I'm gonna try out Arby's level at some point. I respect that they're doing it, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, eh. If it's anything like Wendy's, their levels were fine, but it wasn't anything to like write home about. I guess ultimately it's just kind of cool that they're doing it at all as a marketing gimmick or whatever. And other than that, the new DLC for Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out. I've been dabbling. Has not gotten its hooks into me yet. I haven't had a chance to sit down for like a big lengthy session with it yet. It's overwhelming. I'll say that. Like, I've probably played it for about an hour or so, and it's just the new area is huge, and there just seems, I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, there's a lot to do in this. So it's going to be the kind of thing that I'm really going to have to marinate with, but so I don't really have too many thoughts. I'll give some updated thoughts after I finish it. But it's the final piece of DLC for Odyssey, so I just need to finish that, and then I'll just wait for the final Lost Tale of Greece mission to come out, and I'll be free. I'll be free, Todd. But that's more or less all I've been doing. It's been kind of a little mishmash of a little bit here and a little bit there. Not a whole lot of video game stuff going on with me. There is, however, a ton of news, Todd, if you're prepared to accept it.
I accept.
Oh, how do I want to start this? So, in the light of last week's announcement of the Nintendo Switch Lite, which we covered here on the podcast, Nintendo announced this week that soft upgrades are also being made to the standard Switch model, namely giving the Switch's battery life a major upgrade. This new model's battery life will last somewhere between 4.5 to 9 hours, depending on which game you're playing. This new model will replace current models and feature new packaging so that customers will know that they're getting the newer unit, and it will still cost the same price, so it'll still be $299. Soft hardware upgrades like this are not uncommon, So this happens often. Like Xbox did this with Xbox 360. They did like the Elite, and they had like the, what was it? I think it was called like the Falcon or whatever, where they had like just kind of like a soft, like little tiny improvements to the hardware, right?
The Falcon.
Yeah, they didn't officially call it that, but I think
I was like, bitch, what you talking about, the Falcon?
I think that's what it was called. It was the models had different code names, and one of them I think was Falcon, where it had like a better heat sink and a better, all this like just random little shit, where it would like have like better load times, just tiny little tweaks. You know what I mean? Soft hardware
the Falcon
tweaks.
model Xbox 360.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were talking. I thought you were being batshit. I was like, what the fuck?
No, well, and I mean, it was actually a little bit confusing because when I worked at GameStop at the time that all this stuff was happening, and you'd always want to make sure the customers were getting the best model, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it actually became a little bit of a pain in the ass because it got to the point where I had like serial numbers memorized and I could tell if a console was a Falcon model or not.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure the customer got the best version of the system. So it made things slightly annoying, and then eventually, as the old stock gets moved out, everything is kind of replaced by the newer, bigger, better, soft hardware upgraded unit. So this still is not the rumored like Switch Pro, which we still suspect is probably going to come sometime next year, but this is just kind of a soft, quiet improvement to the base Switch model. So nothing wrong with that. Again, happens often. PlayStation, the tactic that PlayStation usually takes to this is they'll release like the Slim. You know what I mean? Like PS4 kind of released a slimmer unit. PS3 did the same thing. So did PS2. I mean, they always kind of do a system redesign and make quiet little improvements. So this is no different. It's a common thing, and the Switch is just kind of following suit. We're hearing that in North America, you're going to start seeing these units on shelves in like late August, early September. So be on the lookout for that. The packaging will be different, so you will be able to, as a customer, tell that it is a different unit. I think the front of the box is like red or something like that. Like it's pretty much just all red versus the normal Switch box. So that's something. That's probably what I'll pick up for my wife, honestly. Get her one of those. Get myself a Switch Pro whenever that happens. Luigi's Mansion 3 finally has a release date. The game will release on October 31st, Halloween Day, this year. This is in the wake of rumors of an October 4th release date after Amazon Mexico had seemingly leaked it last week, but that was not true. Also, interestingly, Halloween falls on a Thursday this year, and Nintendo typically releases their game on Fridays, but it seems that they could not pass up the perfect timing of releasing Luigi's Mansion 3 on Halloween Day. So that'll be cool.
Well, I'll be off on Halloween.
Yeah, it's on a Thursday. Part of me's kind of hoping. I really, really want to try to get a capture card set up because I would love to do the Halo streams and like stream my first Luigi's Mansion playthrough.
It'd be great, man. Like I actually wouldn't mind because we didn't do it last year, right?
No, we didn't.
I would love to actually. Again, I would love to make that like an annual thing. We actually kind of dedicate ourselves.
We did it the first year, and it was a lot of fun playing like these kind of like Halloween themed games. I liked it.
Didn't I do Bloodborne as a joke?
Yeah, I think there was Bloodborne. I think I did an Outlast 2 playthrough, Little Nightmares. Yeah. We showcased the Overwatch event for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
So
yep.
Attempted to play Resident Evil 7.
We don't talk about
that. Nintendo also revealed new color sets for the Switch's Joy-Con controllers. One set is a dark blue and neon yellow, while the other is a purple and orange set, which looks perfect, like a perfect combination for your Halloween vibes. You want your Switch to look Halloweeny? Put on those purple and orange Joy-Cons, and you'll be good to go. Those are coming October 14th and will retail for $79.99, just as all Joy-Con sets do. So yeah, a little bit of Nintendo news this week, Todd. In other news, coming up to Monkey Ball, something I teased you with earlier.
which I'm intrigued by.
So this is a weird story because last week, I can't remember if I even mentioned this on the show or not, but last week there was a listing on like Amazon, like Germany or some shit, of a new Monkey Ball game for Switch. And it was just, just Super Monkey Ball for Switch or whatever. So everybody was kind of like, oh, wow, like, what is this? What is this? Is it a new game? Is it like a remaster of an old game? What this is it is a remaster of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, which was the 2006 Wii game. And it is being remastered for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch coming October 29th, with a PC version coming this winter. And so this is a remaster, essentially. And this is a weird one to remaster because fans of the series kind of consider Banana Blitz to be like the beginning of the end for Monkey Ball. Like, this was the one that people are like, this is like the bad one. You know?
I don't even remember Banana Blitz.
Yeah, so this was on Wii. And this was the one where people were kind of like, this is kind of the beginning of the fall from grace for Monkey Ball. So it's a weird one that they've chosen to remake. Like, why not just remake the first one?
Real shit.
People would have been happy with that. I don't know if it was a licensing thing. I don't know if it was just easier for Nintendo's purpose to get Banana Blitz, but I mean, it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox also, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But, whatever the case may be, Banana Blitz HD, coming October 29th. I think they're only asking $30 for it. So a low cost of entry there. But it's interesting because the latest Super Monkey Ball game, which is called Banana Splits, so this remaster one, Banana Blitz, this newest one was called Banana Splits, and it was out on Vita, released back in 2012, and a lot of people considered it to actually be a return to form for the franchise. So it's almost like, why didn't you just remaster that for modern consoles?
It's weird.
No, so it's kind of a weird, kind of like misguided attempt of bringing Monkey Ball back. And so, I mean, fans of the series are kind of at odds with this, because it's like, on one hand, they want to support it. Because,
on the other hand, it's like, why do you guys do this game?
Yeah, on one hand, you want to support it, because it's like, we want to see Monkey Ball come back. On the other hand, it's like, this one? This is the one that you're going to remaster?
I dig Monkey Ball, man.
I love Monkey Ball.
Yeah, it's like, shit.
Yeah, those games are great. But it's like, why not remaster like one of the good ones, like one or two, rather than coming in and being like, oh yeah, we're gonna remaster the Wii one. And the thing that's like heartbreaking about it is so there's a trailer for it, and there's screenshots and stuff, and it looks fucking gorgeous. Like, seeing Monkey Ball in HD, it looks really pretty. Like, the game's art style looks so good in HD. Just the colors, and it just looks really good in high definition. I think this is actually the first time the Monkey Ball has technically ever been in high definition. It's just a damn shame that it's not a better game. And there's some fans who are kind of like quietly hoping that they're going to remove like some of these bullshit minigames and some of the things that kind of like made Banana Blitz not so great, but I doubt that's going to happen. It's not often that you see a remaster where they remove content from the game. So, we'll see. This is unfortunate. I think I still kind of want to support it. It's a low buy-in. I think I still want to send the message across to Sega of like, hey, we want more Monkey Ball games. Remasters or new games or whatever. We just want Monkey Ball to get a little bit of time in the spotlight again. Oh, moving along, Todd. This pertains to your interests. I wonder if you've seen this. There's a new trailer for Borderlands 3 that was revealed this week.
Actually, probably. I've been staying pretty blind for the most part.
This trailer is titled So Happy Together. And it is this crazy kind of like kaleidoscopic acid trip of a trailer that showcases the game's 4 playable characters just wreaking havoc to the tune of upbeat music. So happy together. Gearbox teased this trailer with a cryptic kind of invitation that they sent out that kind of played on the theme of togetherness, and this led many fans to believe that it would lead into a crossplay announcement, which would make sense because it's like come together for togetherness and everything, and really what they were teasing the use of the song but fans were like, "Oh, this must be talking about crossplay," and actually caused our favorite company CEO Randy Pitchford to
Did he come out for the amusement?
Yeah, he came out to the amusement of Randy Pitchford. Randy Pitchford took to Twitter to say that while this wouldn't be the case, Borderlands 3 will not launch with crossplay support. Gearbox will be committed to ensuring that crossplay is going to be made available for the game post-launch. He says that they're going to be working with their partners, that the different console manufacturers, basically, to making sure that crossplay comes to Borderlands 3 eventually. But that was not the purpose of this trailer. And honestly, the trailer didn't really reveal shit. It was just like a trailer. It was fine. It was cool. It's a cool trailer.
I'm watching it right now. It's just dumb fun.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, just kind of a dumb, fun little trailer. I don't think you needed to hype it up. I don't think people are in the wrong for thinking that this was like a big deal or was going to be a big deal announcement.
This is like, in a way, this is almost like a non-trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't really reveal anything. It's just for the sake of fun. And that's fine.
Ooh, that was a good shot of, I'll say that was a good shot of one of Flack's beasts right there.
So, that was what it was. We'll definitely be keeping our eye on that. Crossplay seems to be, it's not really a big deal for you and I, but crossplay seems to be more and more a hot button issue among video game players. People seem to really care about crossplay. So, seems like that will be a big deal moving forward. Todd, GameStop was in the news this week.
I actually know why, but yeah, continue.
Your favorite company. In their constant battle for relevancy, Todd.
Just fucking shut down, you stupid ass.
And in the face of massive year-over-year losses, GameStop is planning to overhaul some of their locations to, quote, reaffirm its place in video game culture. These, quote-unquote, concept stores will introduce new ways for players to try titles before they buy them and offer competitive sessions in homegrown e-leagues to locations that sell strictly retro gaming software and hardware. GameStop wants to create a place to have local video game competitions or somewhere for gamers to sit in front of a decent CRTV, which is something that can be increasingly difficult to find in most cities. GameStop is hoping that engendering this relationship with new and retro gamers will see an increase in revenue and keep the lights on well into the future. Essentially, they want to become a play and trade. You remember play and trade?
Yes.
That's essentially what they want to do. They want to, you were able to try the game before you buy it. They had the retro consoles set up. They did the kind of like retro leagues, and play and trade ain't around anymore. So
see, all I'm seeing is GameStop's on the way out, and
they're desperately grabbing at straws.
And I can't say I'm not happy. I've been watching them crash and burn for years.
They're just it just
patiently
seems
waiting.
It has an air of desperation about it.
Oh, it does. It definitely does. It's like, we're relevant, guys.
It has a stink of desperation about it.
The stink of desperation. Title of this episode.
It's a good one. There's something about it that seems so misguided. It seems so kind of like now that we're finally out, like finally we want to engender a relationship with our players.
I think I in a way I don't hate the idea, but I think they're too far gone for this idea to even matter.
Here's the problem. I don't hate the idea either. I would have loved to organize stuff like this when I worked there.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have like CRTVs in the store and have, little retro gaming tournaments. I would have loved to be involved with stuff like that. That would have excited me as an employee, but here's the thing. I worked there when GameStop was on top.
Exactly.
And now that they're not on top is when they're starting to give a fuck about the consumer.
And that's exactly what I just said. They're too far gone now for this to even matter.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm not about to go into a GameStop to play your fucking tournament.
Yeah. No, dude. I haven't been in a fucking GameStop in shit. I, going on at least 7 years.
Yeah. It's just not the... I mean, like I said, I go in there to see my friends, to pick up my amiibos and stuff like that. But it's just like I'm not about to go in there just to do a little tournament or something like that, or whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It just seems misguided. It seems like a failing attempt, like kids, I got candy.
It just candy up in here in GameStop.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit like it's a little sad, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a little you're grasping at straws trying to stay relevant, trying to make it through until the next. Really, what they're really trying to do is they're trying to just survive long enough until the next consoles come out.
Some real shit.
That's what they're really trying to do.
That is some real shit.
Because, like, I mean, we've talked about it a bunch of times on the pod. I mean, GameStop's in trouble, dude. I mean, they're in deep fucking trouble. You cannot take bites the way GameStop has been taking bites and be okay. They're in big fucking shit. Like, it's not good. They lost like $700 million last year.
Ooh, shit. I didn't realize it was that bad.
It was bad. I mean, you don't just lose like almost $1 billion year over year and just be okay with it. And here's the thing. I predict that they probably will hang on until the new consoles, and the new consoles will give them a little bit...
like the fucking parasites they are.
It'll give them a little bit of a bump. They'll survive for a little while longer, but
you think I'm buying my consoles from GameStop?
A lot of people still will. It's not going to give them
Best Buy before I go to them.
It's not going to give them enough of a bump though to really survive for much longer.
Oh no, yeah, it's over for them.
I mean, it's just a matter of time at this point.
God, I sound like such a heartless asshole when you bring up this stuff.
It makes me sad. Not because of the company, but
you have a history with them like that.
It was my first real job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I worked there for 6 years.
I can respect that you worked for that garbage company, and you enjoy it to a certain extent.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends that still work there, but I mean the point of the matter, it's a sinking ship, man.
Oh, dude.
It's a sinking ship. And, like, I just wish that these are the sorts of initiatives that a winning company employs while they're winning, and you keep your customers that are there.
See, no, like, again, like, when you first were telling me like, when you first reading the article, I'm like, wow, that would have been cool, like, like, fucking 8-10 years ago.
Well, think about it. What when people talk about GameStop and they reminisce about GameStop, what are the things that they miss? They talk about, I miss when like midnight launches were a big thing. I miss when those were big events.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget when like a new Call of Duty game would come out or when a new Halo. I mean, we would have live music. We would have we had a Rent-A-Center right next door, and we would collaborate with them and get TVs from them, and we'd have pizza and stuff like that. I mean, it was a big event.
Yeah.
And now midnight launches are like, if they happen at all, they're not
really not that big a deal. It's like 4 or 5 dudes walking in. What's up, guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing anymore. It's just GameStop used to celebrate gaming culture, and like it seems like a cop out to be like, yeah, they went fucking corporate, but they kind of did. They stopped caring about the consumer. It became too much about money, and as an employee, for my part. Now, I'm not trying to like slander the company or give like insider knowledge or whatever, but when I started there was a happy kind of vibe to working at GameStop. It wasn't all about trying to nickel and dime the customer. It wasn't all about trying to get your reserves and get your subs and stuff like that. It became that. And that's when people started getting pushed away. You don't want to go into a store and get asked like a million fucking questions. You just want to buy your game. Mm-hmm. Maybe have a conversation with a knowledgeable, happy employee.
Shit. Nowadays, they're normally not that knowledgeable.
Normally, they're not that knowledgeable anymore, and normally they're fucking miserable because they're having to meet these bullshit quotas.
Quotas are always lead to bullshit.
Never a good thing. And by the way, the only time it doesn't is when the employees are being paid commission for meeting quotas.
Yeah, and more than that, yeah.
That's the only time it doesn't. And GameStop employees, spoilers, are not paid commission. They're expected to do that just to keep their fucking minimum wage jobs.
So what do you know like how much bullshit they gotta do? Like what is like the quota for that shit?
I mean, it would depend based on your market and based on your store, but like for example, when I worked there was an expectation that you had to have at least a 10% turnover rate on your subscriptions. So if you had 100 customers in a day, 10 of them had better be buying a subscription to Game Informer. And for reserves, it was between 15 and 20%. So like if you have 100 customers, 20 of them better be reserving something. And that number would scale depending on the day or the week, depending on how good you were doing. You're always had to be doing better and stuff like that. But then, by the way, those are minimum quotas. You wanted to be doing better than that. So that's why when you go to a GameStop, everybody is like hounding you. You want to reserve this. You want to buy our fucking power-up card. You want to do this. You want to do that. Because they have to. That's their job. They have to do it. It's not the employee's fault. It's the things that the company is wanting them to do. So, and they've sort of like, it seems like they've eased up on it a little bit, but I'm sure it's still in place. Because this is how they make their money. So, I don't know what to do about GameStop. They're on the way out. It's too little too late. This little last-ditch effort to try to engender some sort of relationship with the customer base that's still there. It's on the way out, Todd, for sure. It's funny because like the game store in general just seems like, I really like Game Exchange actually. Like Game Exchange is actually a pretty cool little store that kind of focuses on retro games. Of course there's modern games, but a big focus is retro games. They take everything. That's Game Exchange's whole thing. Literally everything. I mean, they got Atari 2600 games in that bitch. So I like that kind of model. And I wonder if GameStop would be interested in going full retro, but even if they do, I think it's kind of too late. Too late. Mm-hmm. They tried Everything. They tried moving into like the tablet market, the electronics market. They tried moving into the collectibles with purchasing ThinkGeek and everything.
At this point, I just wish somebody would just I Am Legend dog their asses, just like choke them out, just finish it off.
And it's kind of, I mean, and we had heard last year that they were looking
Didn't I make that joke recently?
Probably.
I feel like
we heard, I think last year, that they were looking for a buyer to sort of buy them, and I don't think anybody did. So it's just kind of sad.
Yeah, let's really buy a company that's lost $7 million.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
700 million year after year.
Fucks.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go but down, dude. I mean, I would have to imagine that GameStop is not going to be around for much longer.
And I'll be dancing on their fucking grave.
Anyway,
at this point, I lean into my hatred.
That's fine. That's fine. You lean into your hatred for GameStop. You lean into your love for Brendan Fraser. You're a man torn betwixt a love and a hate. Your passions are spread.
Don't you dare bring up Fraser.
Don't invoke his name.
Don't invoke his name.
Oh, that's all I got for you this week, Todd. You got anything else you want to add before we ship it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Stick it with a bow, Todd. Ship it out. It's done. That's been Nerd Bourbon this week, folks. Thanks for listening. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.